Hey there, Pinpoint Players. Tim Bradley with the Pinpoint Player Podcast with a special edition episode exclusively to YouTube. With the giant trend of the GameStop stock surging over the last couple of weeks and the response from a lot of brokerage firms, uh, Rambo and I, the Pinpoint Player Podcast, felt like we should release a statement uh, considering that the Pinpoint Players had a stake in the GameStop stock. There was a lot of anger, frustration, misunderstanding, confusion over the last week about why this has been such a big deal. During our recording for our second season, we thought it would be wise to record a message and present it here for you, the Pinpoint Players, is that message. So enjoy.
Yep. And with that, we wanted to spend just a couple more minutes talking about one last thing. It's not really gamer related, but
Yeah.
given the given the day that we're recording this on January 28th. For those folks, you might recognize the date as the day that all the GameStop Wall Street shenanigans were going on, where a bunch of stock investors from Wall Street Bets, that popular subreddit,
Mm-hmm.
was going in and buying the stock in mass and causing all the people, those hedge fund managers, to short it, to lose billions and billions of dollars. And I think that is just swell that that's happening.
Yeah.
But I do have to talk, but I do quickly want to mention that I think it was poor decision on Robinhood's part to, at least today on January 28th, for them to suspend buying for GameStop, Bed Bath & Beyond, AMC, and all the other same futures that were in that list.
Yeah. I know that what we say about what happened probably won't ever reach the ears of the people who were responsible, but I hope one day these words do reach them. Um, Personally, as as somebody who believes in individualistic freedom and the ability to take care of yourself, um, I really feel like what happened was immoral to the core. To blame and shame people who are in a lower economic status than you are, to make comments like, why don't people just invest their money in futures? Why don't people just stop being poor? When we do try and we succeed, it would seem that the powers that be decided that they did not want this to occur. And for pitiful reasons, absolutely pitiful, you should be ashamed of yourself if you are involved with this in any sort of way.
Yeah, those hedge fund managers, the ones that constantly short the market, who helped bring our economy down with the housing crash back 13 years ago, and who are constantly basically treating the economy like a casino for them.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny that they get all up in arms when people find out a loophole that they can exploit with GameStop. The stock, I mean, for those that know stocks, over 100, about 140% of the stock was being shorted, meaning just simply there was more to short than there actually existed, and that wasn't enough for them. The stock went from being worth $25 5 years ago to about $3 roughly at the peak of the summer last year. But that wasn't enough for them. They still wanted more. So for me, I am ecstatic that these people found this loophole, this exploit, and are basically taking advantage of them. And I saw a Reuters article earlier today on the 28th saying that these folks were down, these hedge fund managers from places like Melvin Capital were down $70 billion.
My God.
And I'm very happy to hear that. It's because these are the kind of fat cats that have brought our economy to their knees and got bailed out. And so I am glad that they are losing money like crazy. And this is actual trickle down economics where you buy the stock that they were shorting and they have to pay it out. And now people now own a more valuable GameStop stock. In the case of, but for even those that bought a couple shares that were like, I don't know, $10, and now it's maybe it got up to 1,000, that's a difference maker in some people's lives to help their bottom line so that way they can pay rent. And that's the difference. Regular folks will help small businesses. The hedge fund managers won't.
We do have a medium and we do have a voice and we do want to share our thoughts and opinions. Um, th- this really is a sign that there needs to be reform in the financial sector. There really needs to be. I mean, I don't I'm not in favor of more regulation.
The
I
other thing,
really am not.
there definitely needs to be some sort of change, and I'm not saying, and I do agree that there doesn't necessarily need to be more regulation, but there needs to be some sort of equalizer where the and that Robinhood is supposed to be that equalizer where something like the everyman can invest and make that difference, and that's exactly what happened. And so those hedge fund managers getting upset about that, well,
Es-
tough.
Yeah, that's essentially it. Is that they were upset that they lost a game they thought they rigged. You know, one of the greatest fears that these hedge fund managers have is living a middle class life. Look how quickly all of this occurred within 24 hours. Uh, th- that's something that we're dreaming about every day is getting out of this murky, unpredictable economic sludge. And we do our due diligence, we do our homework, we find out a way to win, to beat the game, to get ourselves out of this economic depression. But they're keeping us held down. And it's because they want us there. They want us to be dependent on them for resources. If we are self sustaining, we don't need them. There's no market because we have everything we need. We grow our own food, we can build our own car, we can manage our own vehicle. If we know everything, there is no market to be had. So the more that they can control everything, which is ironic because it does relate back to what we were talking about earlier with how Night Trap tried to control how the customers perceived their video game. It was the ultimate flop. This is a huge flop move today occurring with Robinhood restricting access to potential futures. This is the free market.
And that's
This is the kind of shit that should happen.
right. That's the thing. The saying you've heard the saying, "Let the chips fall where they may." This is an example of, hey guys, you should actually do just that. Let the chips fall where they may. And but on a more, uplifting, happy note, I am glad that people were able to band together to screw over those hedge fund investors. That's at least that is music to my ears.
Yes, that is something to really be celebrated. The fact that they were able to find something out that worked, actually putting it into action. So yeah, that is amazing. I really feel like that's a highlight of this year so far.
Oh yes, it's a highlight of the year. It's a highlight of the year, and we're only still in January, at least when we're recording this. So hopefully, more good things to come. And with that, I think it's time to wrap up. We want to thank you for listening to this episode. And if you like what we're doing, you can reach us on Instagram. You can reach us at pinpointplayers@gmail.com. And you can reach us on YouTube in the comment section. We post our episodes there too.
If you want to follow us on Spotify, that'll help get our podcast into the video game category.
Please give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast. It greatly helps us with outreach.
And if you enjoy uh, listening to what we have to say, share our content with your friends and family.
Couldn't have said any better. Thank you all for listening.
Stay tuned and take it easy, Pinpoint players.